In February 2025, on the outskirts of Buga, Colombia, locals awoke to whispers of a strange light in the sky. Just before dawn, something shimmered above the trees. No sound, no trail, no impact. But hours later, something very real remained. A polished metallic sphere, half buried in the earth, roughly 12 inches, 30 centimeters in diameter. No markings, no screws, no serial numbers, only strange geometric carvings, and at its center, a square emblem found in no known language or catalog. Stranger still, it was freezing cold to the touch, but when water was poured on it, it boiled and vanished instantly. A paradox in metal, resting flawlessly, as if placed by unseen hands. The object wasn't discovered, it wanted to be found. And the fact that it carried a message is almost certain. Why it brought that message, we'll explore soon. But the real question remains, who sent it? That is still a mystery. Witnesses described a glowing object descending silently into the forests near Buga, Colombia. One of them, David Velez El Potro, found the metallic sphere deep in the woods. He believed it wasn't man-made. When the government contacted him to turn it over, he refused. "If I give it up," he said, "it will never be seen again." He poured water on it, instant vapor, rising smoke. The moment water touched it, smoke started to rise. It vanished. Another local, known only as Jose, touched the sphere and became sick for days. Fatigue, dizziness, nausea. Some witnesses claimed the sphere's weight increased, from about 2 kilograms to nearly 10. No change in size. No visible difference in material. If true, this suggests an active internal process, maybe thermal, electromagnetic, or something else entirely. There is no official report, no confirmed scientific analysis, no impact crater either. But observers said the ground beneath the sphere looked slightly compressed, as if it hadn't fallen, but been placed. And one thing is clear, if this sphere is beyond what we know, maybe even not of this Earth, it won't be exposed. It'll be buried, not under concrete, but under confusion, until we forget what we were ever looking for. The sphere was eventually brought to a radiology lab in Mexico. Renowned journalist and UFO researcher Jaime Maussan organized a mobile imaging team to examine it. The X-ray scans were conducted by radiologists Dr. Jose Luis Velasquez and Dr. Fernanda Castro. The results shocked even the skeptics. The scans revealed a 3-layered metallic structure. The outer shell appeared to be made of an ultra-dense alloy, possibly steel, titanium, or even tungsten. But what they found inside defied explanation. At the center, the X-rays revealed 18 small spheres, arranged in a nearly perfect orbital pattern. No wires, no mechanical structure. Each was the size of a marble, suspended within the shell. Even more bizarre, there were no seams, no screws, no signs of manufacturing. The surface was so smooth it looked not assembled, but grown. Dr. Velasquez stated, "In over 2 decades of radiology, I've never seen anything like this. It doesn't resemble anything in aerospace or industrial design." Some speculated that the inner spheres might be memory units, stabilizers, or part of a communication system, but no one could say for sure. Beyond its physical structure, the sphere showed strange thermal behavior. Engineer David Avila Roldan, with over 50 years of experience in industrial mechanics, observed, while the ambient temperature was 24 degrees, 75 degrees, The sphere reached up to 33 degrees, 91 degrees, in certain spots. There was no visible heat source, almost as if it were biological. It doesn't obey normal thermodynamic laws. He also reported temperature fluctuations even while the sphere was at rest. To him, it seemed to contain active internal processes unlike any known metal object. But perhaps most intriguing were the findings of material science engineer Alejandro Fonseca Marin. After testing the object's hardness, magnetism, and frequency response, he stated, "It shows non-standard magnetism. Its surface behaves like it's undergone extreme thermal treatment, yet shows no visible damage. Its response to frequencies is inconsistent. It's as if it has a personality. It self-modifies." Tests conducted at different altitudes yielded varying results. According to Fonseca, the object behaved differently at sea level and higher elevation, suggesting a complex interaction with electromagnetic or gravitational fields. And yet, despite all testing, the sphere remained completely silent. No signals, no movement, but the mystery deepened. Researchers noticed ancient-like symbols etched into its surface, shapes resembling runes or cuneiform. Using AI-based decoding models, they extracted a cryptic message. The origin of unity and energy through birth, the convergence point in the cycle of transformation, expansion, individual consciousness. A similar incident occurred back in 1974 in Florida. The Betts family discovered a polished metallic sphere in the woods near their home. Once inside, it began to roll on its own, shift direction without force, and emit soft, rhythmic pulses at night. NASA and the U.S. Navy performed X-rays. They found dense internal regions, but gave no explanation. The sphere was returned to the family, and the mystery faded into silence. Now, half a century later, another sphere appears, this time in Colombia, with more complex internals, heavier, hotter, but just as silent. Is this an alien artifact? A forgotten remnant of a lost civilization? Or something entirely new? Something we're not even equipped to classify? Strange objects falling from the sky often vanish in official reports. Governments downplay, neutralize, or ignore them, but sometimes the real cover-up isn't hiding the object, it's hiding its meaning. Maybe this sphere will disappear too, sealed away in some anonymous government facility, its data locked for decades. And the silence it brings isn't emptiness, it's the shape of something being hidden. What if it's not a threat, but a warning? What if it wasn't meant to fall, but to be found? The origin of unity and energy through birth, the cycle of transformation, expansion, individual consciousness. This is the message artificial intelligence deciphered from the markings on the sphere. And the reason why we may have received such a message seems painfully clear. We search the skies for signs of aliens, yet we've forgotten to prove our own humanity. We scan the stars but lose our way in the gravity of our pride. Technology advances, but our minds, disregarding ethics, remain primitive, still driven by fear, still craving control, still trapped in arrogance. We build machines that can think, but refuse to think for ourselves. Centuries pass, and still our first instinct stays the same. To own, to weaponize, to control. But maybe the message wasn't science. Maybe it was spirit. Not for machines, but for minds willing to evolve. And maybe this was humanity's final invitation. Not to dominate, to align. Not to conquer, but to move together. And not to escape the Earth, but to finally deserve it.